So we've got Dave, Saul, Jeff, and me, full house tonight. We all managed to get on. We all managed to link up. Everyone's got reasonable internet. So we're good to go tonight. Jeff's drinking wine by the looks of it down there.
Yeah. Enough for the weekend, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he had a lot of drink this weekend. Anyway, I won't. This is Engine Room Chat, and just basically it's us four just having a little general chat about what we've been up to in the last month and what we've got going on in the next few weeks. So we'll go. I'm going to go. Look, that's the wrong way. I'm going to go to Dave over there and start with Dave. What you been up to, mate?
Right. Where do you want to start?
Working. Your boiler news.
Boiler news. I've done it. I've solved it. I fixed it yesterday.
Did you?
It's up and running. I solved all the leaks. I fitted it, or I refitted it because I got a leak on, I think, from the last time. I took it back to the guys that have remade it for me.
Yeah.
They sorted the leaks out. I refitted it. Tried to be a bit clever with the plumbing so I could get to plumbing. And a lot easier. Fired the boiler up, and the boiler fired up. No leaks. But because I took the return pipe above the inlet, where the inlet goes into the bottom, I took it up, over and down, and the hot water in the tank were coming up the return pipe, and it wouldn't let the water flow through the system.
Just because of where it was?
Because of where it was, where I'd altered the plumbing. So this weekend, I took the washing machine out and the cupboard that holds the washing machine, because that's outside of the boiler. So I took that all out so I could get to the plumbing easier instead of trying to reach down a 5-inch gap and do the plumbing. I took all that out, drained the system, stripped all the clever bit of plumbing that I'd done, replumbed it how it were originally, filled it up, checked it for leaks, no leaks, fired it up, put the pump on, and it worked.
Is that
the
original one?
$2,000.
Is that the original boiler you put back in?
Yeah, original boiler that I thought it was an hot water tank that heated up, but it weren't. The whole thing was fabricated. It were a tube in a tube.
Was it?
So it was like formed a water jacket. So the burner heated the inner tube up, which heated the water, and that circulated through the system. So I ended up having it more or less completely remade. But yeah, it went back in, connected it all up, and
you got hot water.
Got hot water now.
How long has that been?
7 weeks.
Oh, that's a long time, isn't it?
7 weeks it's took me, but yeah, it's all good. So that's one off the list. We bought a 4G router because we're heading into no man's land with over winter for
Wales, isn't you? Wales.
Yeah, and it's notoriously crap reception when we went last time. So we bought a router and an aerial. So I've been fitting that today. Got it all rigged up, but we can't get into it. I think you have to go into the IP address to alter the router to accept the signal from the aerial rather than its internal one. So
you do that from usually on the back of the router. It's got router route or whatever you want to call it. usually on the back of it, it's got a your IP address. You just put that in, and usually the password's admin.
Yeah. Well, we did that, but when I watched a YouTube video on how to do it, and the window that came up was Hawaii or whatever make the router is.
Yeah.
But when we tried to do it, when we put the IP address in, it was coming up with like a third party. It weren't going onto a Hawaii website to do it, so we were a bit wary of going through a third party. So, and then we got this going on, so we thought rather than bugger everything up, we'd wait till this live stream were done. So,
Yeah. Just so everyone knows, we'll do there's a few messages coming up on the side. We'll have a scroll through them after each of us goes round. All right, we'll have a see who's going on there because there's a few comments going on there. Is that, yeah, I noticed there's somebody that said hello. There's a lot of hellos in there, so we'll come to them in a sec. But yeah, so you're so you got your 5G sorted. Is it sorted now?
Yeah, we're on the router and it's working better than the phone we used as an hotspot. So
yeah, you're getting your service looks really good where you are.
Yeah, and it's been before we put it on, it were a bit spotty through phone. So it is working. It's working better than the phone, but we're hoping that it'll work even better when we get this antenna sorted out.
They do push out a bit more power, the routers, because I think they actually work on full power all the time, whereas your phone, the power goes up and down.
Yeah.
Depending where you are. If you're in a good service area, it will turn the power down on the phone right down to nothing. And then when you're in a bad area, it'll pump. You know, when your phone gets hot,
yeah,
that's usually because it's on maximum, and the aerial's internal. It's on maximum strength. You know, it's pushing out whatever 2 watts it's got inside it, which makes it run hot and also makes the battery go flat really quick. Is the new thing of plugging the mains?
Yeah, that's the only thing. So, but
shouldn't take a lot of juice, though.
No, I don't think it takes a lot of juice.
No,
does
every box we've put on uses tons of power.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
You've only got two leisure batteries, though, ain't you? So
one.
You've got one leisure battery. So wherever you plug into your boat's going to get spanked.
So that's things are once I get the van sorted, which hopefully, touch wood, it's actually gone into the garage for them to start working on it today.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping by end of this week, maybe early next week, I should have that back.
Yeah.
I can get this Monday or bike that I've borrowed, and we'll
Where
be
are
back
you at the moment?
Pardon?
Where are you at the moment?
Just through Chester. We're on way to Ellesmere Port.
Oh yeah.
So, but we're moored in middle of nowhere, or we thought we're in middle of nowhere, and I think we're in middle of a country park because there's walkers, joggers, dog walkers, and all sorts walking past us. So
you managed to get a car near.
Oh, the car.
Yeah. Is it near?
Yeah, it's about it's 2 bridges down, so it's about a 20-minute walk to where I've managed to park.
Right,
so
it's
not too bad.
So you're, apart from all those things, well, no, everything's good apart from the van then.
Everything's good apart from the van. The battery charger that stopped working, I've got that in for repair. Some capacitors have gone on that, so I'm getting that sorted out.
What battery charger is that? What battery charger is it?
It's an ASBO 60 amp charger, smart charger.
ASBO, that's what you get when you get an ASBO when you're naughty.
Yeah, but I think it's about 7 year old. When we had engine change, we we had a all new electrical system done. So we bought a decent charger because when we're on hookup or if we're running a Jenny or something like that, it just starts running engine. But
Well, here's a
yeah, we
question for
tried
you.
it.
Yeah, go on. Sorry. I was just
So
going to
we
say,
tried it a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah. Yeah, go on.
and
Sorry,
it weren't working. So I stripped it out and I've took it into a local repair shop near where I work. So it's quite good with electronics and stuff.
What sort of repair shop? Because I've got a Sterling Pro charger which I bought second hand, and it boots up, goes into, you know, when it does a self check.
Yeah,
they do like a self check, and then it I think it powers down or it starts flashing. And I bought another one in the end, but I always thought it might be worth getting it repaired. I think they're about 200 quid. But I didn't know where to take it.
He's a little one of old-fashioned electronic shops, and he's in Sheffield. They call him Nova Electronics.
All right, and
it's a bit far for you to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
what I'll do then, Dave, when I see you,
you can get me.
I'll give it to you and see if you can fix it.
Yeah,
because
what he does is really quite good, because you take stuff into him and he'll look at it, and if you can't fix it, he don't charge you anything.
Oh, brilliant!
If you can fix it, he puts 25 quid on cost of fixing it. So he's really fair, and that is quite good.
No, I'll definitely give it to you, definitely, because I think even second hand to a bit or sell it on, it's no good to me with as it is. So I've had it for ages. It's like brand new, but it just don't work. So I'll give it to you, and if you can take it into him and see what he says.
Yeah, no problem.
So cool. So is that you done? Is it? Is you?
I think so. I think I've got a few little jobs that want sorting. We've developed a little leak on one of the windows, and the back hatch has developed a bit of a leak if it's blowing a gale in a certain direction. So I just run out of time today. I had a 2-hour walk with our new little pup to go and fetch the car, which turned into nearly a 3-hour walk, because every dog he met he wanted to say hello to and that. So but yeah, that were all right. It tired him out a little bit, but yeah, so I sort of like run out of daylight really and I had to work in between showers as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, other than that, we're
all right.
We're getting there.
Cool. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look down the outside here then before we go on to Saul.
Hello, Kev.
Let's have a look. So there's a few people.
Saul, I reckon you could be cousins. Look.
Yeah.
Is that Molly?
What's the facial hair though?
Look, sit that way, look.
Yeah.
Got the same haircut.
Mole's just had her haircut, hasn't she?
So said, are you really selling much?
Yeah, right, here we go. Yeah, I was going to go down here. So there is well, we know Louise is watching. Sue Epton's on. Hi Sue, how you doing? Sue Hawkins obviously gave us a wave as well. Never know how to use Lisa's mouse. Some Anfield Road layout in the loft. It said hi, whoever that is. Well done, Dave.
Subscribers.
Yeah, yeah. Well done, Dave, for fixing your. I presume that's for fixing the heating. Kev said, "Good evening. What's unfolding? Everything, mate. Everything's unfolding. Unfolding this week. I've been, God, we've got to come on to that in a minute. Mott says, "Evening, guys. Nice to see you." Who's
Dale's there, Dawn.
Dale's there as well. Dawn says hello. Dawn and Dale say hello. He sent me a shocked message the other day and wondered if Wendy and Magnus were coming back, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Let's have a go. What else? Who's this? Jack. Hello, guys. Is Nicola Williamson your daughter or something, Saul? And that's why she said "sod up, bugger off, Saul."
Yeah. Spelled my name wrong and everything.
Yeah.
Because I call her Nicola with an H.
Oh. Wayne says, "Evening, chaps." Sue. Oh, what's this? What's one say? From Sue. What's that? How do I get that? It's sort of half a message. I can't read it. Let's get rid of that a minute.
It's assuming it's all about you abandoning us.
I'm not abandoning. I know. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to do Lisa's bloody mouse here. It's a nightmare. Lisa, are you here? Lisa is here, but she's in the other room, Kev. So she's hiding. She don't do engine room chat because she don't know much about that end of the boat. It's never a place she dwells. And Sue said she'll still follow us, which is great. Sue Hawkins, we raised our. Here we go. Let's put this up here. We raised our internet area by about a foot, but the jury's still out whether it improved the signal. But we're in a marina, also the weather has been awful, so you need to see. I think the weather definitely. And if people are in around you and everyone's in, not going out, the capacity of the cell site, the nearest cell site, will be higher than it will be when people are in and out of the house. If everyone's stuck in, the capacity of the cell site will be lower, and the speed goes to shit basically when that happens. So, Soul and Jeff and Dog. Good evening from Kev.
Okay.
And then Chet said good evening. Hi, Chet. You're right, mate. Jack's asked, are we really selling Nutshell? I'll come on to that when I get round to when it gets round to me. No, Lisa's already. Lisa's watching Bridgerton. She's replied. I think that one's down the bottom there. I think that might be a bit of a blag, that bottom one. We need Louise as admin to sort that out, I think. So anyway, we'll come back to them again in between chats. So Saul, what you been up to?
Well, we did our big trip. We went from Preston all the way up to Whitfield.
And the engine was all right.
Yeah, she's chugging along. She's difficult with starting, but she chugs along. There's a lot of weed, so we kept having to back her off. But as soon as we get weed wrapped around the prop, there's a lot of smoke coming out of the engine. So as soon as you get rid of it, it stops smoking. So
yeah,
same old with that. Didn't do much painting because of the rain.
No,
that all went out the window. So maybe this month. Apparently, it's going to get a bit drier. Hopefully, it'll stay warm enough. So
is that painting outside?
Yeah, just gonna touch up the roof where I'm sort of like priming it and giving it an undercoat and what have you, just for the winter. Get it through for next summer, And then we'll give it a go in the summer.
If you need trees or anything.
Yeah. And then we finally got the weed hatch off.
Yeah, I saw that video.
To jam a screwdriver in, and I lumped it off and I pulled it out, and then a boat come past.
About 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even jump out. I was just stood watching this hole and going, I hope the water don't come in, otherwise it'll sink. And luckily it didn't. God, he was going some speed.
It did not throw you, didn't it? I saw the movement on the boat. It was like well rocking.
Yeah. So that was a bit worrying.
But you got it back on.
Yeah, so I've got it off. All it was sticky. The padding they put round was sticky. So I just got a screwdriver in there and managed to pry it off, and I repaired where the bit that had come off.
Yeah,
I repaired that and stuck it back down again. So no, I can get it on and off now without a problem. I just don't want to. So every time I do it, bolts come flying by.
How near is it to your? Because from what I can remember, ours is quite a. It's quite a, there's quite a drop before you get to the water.
Yeah, it's a fair drop, but it's actually getting in because our back deck is solid. We don't have a hole in the back deck, so I have to go in through the engine room, and then you have to go in through the engine room, and it's just so you've got a tiny gap. I can just about get the weed hatch out, and I'm touching the underneath of the foot plate, so it's really quite low. So getting in there, but it's quite deep. It's pretty deep, but we're a bit low in the water, so because we've been overplated.
Why have they not giving you access from the top?
It's solid steel. There's no hatch.
There's no hatches.
A lot of trads are like that, though, Glenn.
Yeah.
A lot of trads don't have access to weed hatch.
Yeah.
Really?
It's quite hard to get in because when I was seeing the boat coming towards me, I thought, well, I could dive in there, but it'd take me about 20 minutes to crawl all the way over.
Yeah.
Then I was covered in oil and everything. I thought, bugger it, And I didn't catch up to them because they went down the glass and fly. So, yeah, I was going to have words with them, and I thought, well,
it's not worth it sometimes. It's just not worth it. It's just
not
worth it sometimes.
Last week, I managed to tow a boat.
Did you?
John, the engineer, rang me up and said, can you tow a boat down to Golgate? And I was up into Whitfield at the time, and I said, I'm up into Whitfield, but if I can get down, I will. And we travelled down, and I did, and I managed to pick a boat up. It was a little GRP cruiser, and it had the engine had gone. Compression in the engine. Turns out it's a bloke I used to work for about 25 years ago.
No way.
So it was a good we towed him back to Golgate and then had a few beers in the pub. That was it. So busy month really for that sort of thing. And then next month I've just got stacks of work. I've got shelves to fit, hot tap I've got a list off the missus. Hot tap fixing. I gave her a list, but I got a crack around the head for it. And I got some pipe work to tidy up in there as well. And we need a new table. That's what we need. So that's what we're up to this month, hopefully.
A table in the boat?
Yeah.
Not like you're going to put it on a pole?
Yeah, we've got one on a pole, but it's massive. And I just think we don't need it as big and as heavy. So I'm going to get a new piece of ply and make something up.
Make something up. Yeah, cool. Well, that's good then. Well, at least you're up and running and you've had no stresses engine-wise. Starting, do you just keep it cranking on the starting, or?
I tend to faff about a bit. I don't go mad and keep cranking it over, but it'll take about 11, 12 attempts to get it going.
Because you know what, when ours did that, I used that stuff that was meant to help it start.
Yeah,
it relines and it worked for quite a while. But because I was so keen on starting it on the key, I kept cranking. This is on our old boat. And what ended up happening, diesel ended up seeping through to the crank. So we were just be wary of that because it just overfilled the crank. And we know that it can then ignite from the bottom. It didn't, but I would just honestly, mate, if you give it a sniff of easy start, it'll start really.
Don't use that.
Easy.
Put an off.
I don't want to get addicted to it.
Don't use that.
But the trouble is though, if it's you're going to get it done anyway, aren't you? You're going to get the head done.
You got an air filter?
Yes.
Take the air filter out, get a burning rag, and just stick it in the air filter. That'll go.
Yeah. Well,
it's better and easy.
Engineer's out this week, so we'll hopefully he's going to set it all up because my finger's still not right.
Right.
So I can't fiddle with anything.
Can you not? It's still not working.
Nah, bloody thing. Now my hand's all seizing up. It's ridiculous.
Is it?
Bloody thing.
Bloody hell, nightmare. Are you right-handed as well?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Shit. That's a nightmare. That's not good. That's not good. But so apart from that, that's all you got going on.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, short and sweet, like it.
Yeah.
So Jeff, what have you been up to, mate?
It's going to be even shorter then, really, isn't it? Well, what have I been up to?
He's been on holiday.
Been on holiday, been to Lanzarote, ain't I, for a week?
Yeah, he managed to.
It
He
was
managed
bloody
to.
hot.
He managed. You did stay on the boat a lot, didn't you? Though for the last
Well,
month.
yeah, we had to because the kitchen was being done and the dust was unbelievable. We had nearly 6 weeks on the boat.
Yeah,
Loved it. Loved it.
but
I
you've
got
done nothing on the boat,
really.
have you?
Popped over there. When was it? Friday. Had a look. It's all dry inside because we had the windows open. No
Did
leak.
you?
Quite
No
surprised.
leaks, no.
And the bilge is quite empty still for some reason. Don't know.
That's
After
good.
all that rain, I thought I better go and pump it out. Nothing in it.
Boiling.
Well, do you know what? The rain that was coming, you know, the rain that came over the weekend and that was coming down the canal. So that would have been coming in the front. From the front, it was like horizontally into the front of our boat. So we had a couple of little leaks from windows that we don't normally have leaks.
No, we had no leak. I want to take the frame off the front and restain it and paint it or whatever because it needs doing really.
Yeah.
But so much going on here, man.
Yeah, no, Jeff's in the middle of.
We got the kitchen in bits, well, nearly done. We got the scooter in bits. We got the car now as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
And then we'll do the pork out back. So there's so much going on, man. And there's work and all that gets in the way.
Work gets in the way.
It does.
Yeah.
But come on. Tell everybody what they want to know.
What they want to know. On engine talk. God, I might get told off by Mrs. Warner.
Oh.
So after a long 2-hour discussion, and I honestly
one-sided conversation, I think you mean.
What? A what? Sorry.
One-sided conversation, you mean?
Well, I'm not saying anything. I'll get told off. We decided that the little house that I own with my sister, we're going to move into that because our tenants just moved out in Northampton. What's happening at the moment? We're spending most of our life traveling back and forth from as things have opened up again from COVID. We've ended up going back and forth to Northampton constantly, or Milton Keynes, Northampton, then back again. And then obviously we've been down to Devon a couple of times, but that's fine because that's generally for a bit of a longer stint. So that's all right. And that shuts down at the end of November. But we did think about moving the boat back to Northampton, but we've been so spoiled where we are that going back into a marina just didn't bode very well. And coming back to Northampton, you can't park. We have to get parking permits for both cars, and they were 350 quid each. So there's 700 quid's worth of car parking permits. And we thought, just why I do want another boat. I really do. And anyway, Lisa thought before we go into winter, and because it is quite hard at Ivanhoe, there's nothing around there. And once they shut the right, that's on the cards, mate. You should have seen the track this morning. It was well muddy this morning. It won't know. He walked it yesterday as well, so I think he's going to be shutting that very, very soon. So basically, during the winter, we have to walk 250 meters to the car, and then you drive the car down to the gate, which is about a quarter of a mile. You let yourself out the gate, you get back out, lock the gate, then you go off, and then you're about 45 minutes, 50 minutes away from Northampton. You're about 25 minutes away from Milton Keynes. So when you get in at the end of the day, because obviously I've been working 3 days a week, you sort of get in, it's dark, it's cold, it's wet, you've walked 250 meters. You just don't go out. You just don't go out.
I'll go and get my violin.
Yeah.
Well, obviously it was great when Jeff was there last year in lockdown because it meant we saw quite a bit of Jeff, and he was almost in our bubble. And so it sort of kept us sane. But I think trying to do it still, and I thought why the market's buoyant, let's call it buoyant, it's a good time to sell. We wanted, obviously, when we came back from Banbury, I was looking to sell then to buy a smaller boat. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to be a year in the house, not any longer than that, because not only have I got to pay towards the house, which is not a lot, but I also lose the income as well. So obviously it's normally rented out. So I've not only got to pay, but I'm losing the income. So it's only a short term until we decide exactly what we want to do. I would like to do in the fall, I would like to buy another boat, a smaller boat, and one that I can, not as dear, obviously, and have it as a holiday boat. Have it as so we can keep it. We'll keep it somewhere, but we're not on it all the time. But we'll go off for 2-3 weeks holidays at a time in it, and then be down the caravan and sort of split ourselves between it. That's the way I see it going. When the money we get for the boat is not going to be touched, it's going to be put to one side, and left. I'm not going to spend it on anything else. Definitely a big wedge of that is going to go towards another boat at some point. So I'm not completely leaving the network. I'm not. I'm not. I mean, I don't know. I suppose if I'd have, I might have not have. I probably that's why me and Lisa are like we are, because she pushes me into doing it, and then we get on with other stuff. Basically, if it had been me, I probably wouldn't have got rid of it just yet. I probably would have hung on, but then that means we're paying double in everything. You know what I mean? We're paying moorings, we're paying CRT money for a 70-foot boat, and it's just sitting there. So, and to be honest with you, if you don't use boats, they tend to go to the knacker's yard really quickly. They just don't. I know somebody who's just moving their boat. It's been left for 2 years, and he can't start it. Loads of the stuff seized up. It's an old-fashioned one with a little wheel that you wind on a lister. That whole mechanism was seized up. He's had to strip it all down to refit. And it's only 2 years. He's just not used it. He was ill, and he couldn't use it for 2 years. And if you've got one, you've got to use it. You got to use it. And we never wanted a boat to be a house that sits still. That's pointless. To us, it's pointless. If you're going to be moving. I think the job does get in the way a little bit that I've taken on, but at the moment, it's I quite like it. It's good to be out and about, to be honest with you, and getting paid for it. So that's where we're at. It's going. I'm going to put it out for sale. I've got a couple of little jobs to do on it, so I'm going to. What I thought I might do might be a good idea is I've got quite a few jobs to do this month on it, which I'm going to take footage of and come back and tell everybody next month. And then I wondered if someone else, like if Dave wanted to take over the running of, and Dave and Louise take over the running of the engine room chat, but I'll still come on. You know what I mean? I'll still come. I'll come along. I'll come along, because to be honest with you, I'm still going to be doing, we've still got loads of friends that have got narrow boats, and lots of them ask me to help them all the time. So I'll still be out and about doing stuff. If I get bored, I'm going to go and take Jeff. I'm going to take Jeff's apart.
You're right, mate.
Yeah. If I get really bored,
you don't lose that knowledge, even though you don't live on a boat. You're not going to lose that knowledge.
No. I think, and I think it'll make buying another one, because it's only our second boat, but I think buying another one, knowing exactly what to look for and what size you want, and not being scared about the condition of the boat, apart from the hull and the engine, obviously, but even the engine's fixable. It's the hull that's the main bit. And something around 40 foot, I think, 45 foot, I think we'll look for next time. Louis says once a boater, always a boater.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone knows. It's actually been 5 years. We've actually had a boat for 5 years, so it's not been like a 2-minute fleeting thing. So and I'm still keen. I'm still keen to get another one. So it will happen, and then that'll be a massive project.
Yeah. Do you think you'll live on a boat again, though, Glenn? Or
I don't know. I would. Yeah, Lisa loves it. I mean, Lisa loves the boat. I think if we'd have been like we should have been, because we would have never gone to. If we hadn't have had lockdown, we would have not been probably at the mooring where we are now. Our plan was to go constantly cruising, and obviously that all changed over lockdown, and we ended up on the mooring that we're at, and we just never got back to cruising. And now I'm working 3 days a week. Lisa's looking at getting, she's trying to find an online job at the moment. And I think during COVID, we spanked our savings. We absolutely spanked it. Because we're used to, reasonable money coming in from other jobs that I used to do, and that just has dried up. It's still not the same now. It's and that I could do that anywhere. I could do that online, and that is just I would say it's dropped 80% from what it was. So naturally any money that we had in the bank just seemed to be going the wrong way. You know what I mean? So it was just a good time to just get something just to take the edge off of that, something that covers the bills. But I didn't want to go full time. I will never work full time again. I promise. It was just never happen. I ain't got time. To be honest, the 3 days gets in the way like mad. It's like, because you're not used to doing it. You obviously, I'll do that tomorrow. I thought, shit, no, I can't do that tomorrow. I've got to go work. You know what I mean? So I end up carrying an iPad around with me just in case I need to do anything else at work at lunchtime. So I'm doing I'm doing a bit of everything, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. We'll put. I'm going to. I've contacted Rugby Boats to see if they're interested in selling our boat if we don't sell it privately.
They've got a good reputation.
Have you heard of Rugby Boats?
Yeah, they've got a really good reputation.
Yeah, he's nice bloke. I've seen him a couple of times, and I went and saw him. You am I on the wind up now? Am I going on too long? I'm getting nudged. So he has got a good reputation, and I spoke to him at Crick a few years ago because I think he does an amazing job, particularly when he does a walkthrough on the boat. But he'll only sell mid to high end boats. He does not sell doer-uppers.
No,
it's part of his company policy, and which is fair enough. I don't think Nutshell's a doer-upper anyway. I think she's probably a mid road boat, because of there's a bit of paintwork that needs doing. There's a few things that need doing inside. So it's definitely not because we're obviously living on board, so it's obviously livable. But that's where we're at. We're leaving. We're going to do our last cruise up to Stoke Bruin for the vloggers thing. Obviously, so Louise and Dave can stay on board. We'll be up there for we're going out for 2 weeks, and if Rugby Boats says he'll take it, we'll carry on. We'll carry on. It's only Weedon, so we'll carry on up to Weedon and go and drop it off, rather than turning around, coming all the way back to Leighton Buzzard to go all the way back again. So we'll probably do that and see how we gets on, see how he values it. He might undervalue it. He might not say it's worth what we think it is, and we just have to see. But it's a good time to sell at the moment, I think.
It is. It's a seller's market at the moment.
Yeah, I think if it's a seller's market and I can hang on till 12 months or 18 months, I think there'll be a lot of boats that people have bought during lockdown that then all of a sudden, we're going abroad again, we're not doing that. Boat's sitting there doing nothing, let's get rid of it. And I'm hoping the prices will come down again. and it'll I'll be able to pick some, because our first boat we bought we paid 17,000 for, and you just don't buy them for that anymore. You know what I mean? It just don't happen. So if they ever come down to that sort of market again, that's the sort of the end I'd buy in at again, at sort of 17,000-20,000. So let's see what happens anyway. So that's what I've been up to. I haven't touched the boat since then, since last month really, but I have got jobs to do, and they're silly little jobs just for stuff that needs replacing on board that I've got that I just haven't bothered, because I've put a temporary fix in, and the temporary fix is working as well as the proper thing, but I'll put the proper thing in to finish it off. So I'll do that, and that's what's going on. That's what's going on. Really,
big news.
Anyway, I know we had a few not great comments on that thing, and to be honest with you, we have lost a few subscribers, but and that's fine. We're cool with that. If people don't want to watch us because we're not narrowboaters anymore, that's fine. They can move on.
You can always come and watch us instead, Glenn.
I know.
We'll take any subscribers that you don't want, or you can come and watch us instead.
Nudge them on your way, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
For you, mate. Yeah, I will do. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, we've had a lot of support on the YouTube channel that we did, for yesterday's episode. A lot of people said they don't actually. A lot of people don't watch for the narrowboat side of it anyway. They watch to see what we're doing, to see what's going on, and we don't. Anyone that's known us for a long time, we don't generally sit still for that long. Things seem to change quite quickly and evolve and sort of go along. So, but we'll see how we go. So let's have a look, see what comments we got. I think everyone on the side has just been having their own.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
I don't only get a list off my missus. I'm now getting a list off viewers saying, "Have you built steps for Tango yet?" And no, I haven't.
Oh, really? I saw that somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. It's in the pipeline. Yeah, just pick him up for the minute. He's getting older, poor lad.
Oh, by the way, it's Jeff's birthday in 10 days.
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday, Jeff, in 10 days.
Yeah. I know.
Getting old.
21 again, Jeff.
You won't see that, mate.
You wouldn't have known that. I saw Jeff yesterday. And on Saturday he was in the rugby club from midday till nearly 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and I heard a rumor that he was absolutely wasted.
I was bad, and I was looking bad for years.
He couldn't even get the key in the door. But I don't think I've ever seen him with a hangover. I think he was a bit hanging yesterday, and that was about. What time was that? I saw you about 1 o'clock, wasn't it?
Yeah, I still didn't feel well this morning. I nearly spewed this morning.
Yeah.
Don't feel too bad now.
Yeah, you feel better now, yeah? That's good. That's good. So anyway.
After an all-day session like that, I'd be lucky to find Dora. I don't know about Key.
Oh, he got home. He got home all right. I think someone put him in a taxi.
Got out of the taxi and walked home. I don't know how long it took.
He's still here to tell us how I think I'd have been absolutely wasted for days if that had been me. But anyway.
Normally 4 an hour we're doing when we're there. It does slow down a bit, but then we had pork, then we had wine. Serious, man.
Pork, wine, lager. I saw someone in the video doing a yard of ale.
Yeah, he nearly fell off the stool, didn't he?
Chaos. Anyway, we've been on for 45 minutes, so we're going off piece now, so we'll wrap it up. We'll be back. I think we'll be back next week. I'll have a word with Dave and see if Dave and Louise are happy to run the thing while take over the running of it. I think Lisa's going to speak to Louise about that anyway, and then you can attach it to your channel as well, so you get a bit of traction from it. And you can do that as well, Saul. Now, did you know?
Yeah, I did it. I did it. Well, I hope I did it. I don't know. I just clicked buttons and
Lisa,
things worked.
If you get stuck, contact Lisa. She'll check it's working. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. But it's been good. I'll be back next month, and I will see you all later. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for commenting, And I'll catch you later, chaps.
See you later.
See you later. Cheers.
Goodbye, everybody.